So I guess this is what I've become, a death battle list maker. Okay, I'm cool with that. I love animation and its many movies and shows. Some of my favorite movies and shows are animated. I also really like death battle. So I thought, why not combine the two and make a top 10 best animated death battle ideas. Basically the rules are, if as long as one or both characters are animated, it's fair game. Also no anime. I'll make a different list for that if I wanted to. And just a little disclaimer, this is all my opinion and it's completely fine if you disagree. In fact, if you disagree and have your own top 10, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your guys' top 10s. Without further ado, let's begin with some honorable mentions. First off, this may be a little controversial, but I've grown to like Arco vs Loose. I used to heavily dislike it, but now I've grown to really enjoy it. Does Loose, one of my favorite characters, ever get curb stomped? Yes, but then I realized that's extremely petty and that Loose getting on death battle in the first place would be really cool. This fight could be really fun and creative with all of their magic spells. Also, and from Amphibia is also a really good option. It's a real shame that Loose gets curbed both times, but I'll get over it. The Mitchells vs The Incredibles may not be a very good idea, but two of my favorite films of all time getting on death battle would be amazing. Also, I don't care about the Fantastic Four, so this is a solid option. Donald vs Daffy is a really fun matchup that I love and would be really hyped to see someday, but unfortunately it just got beat out by the other 10. This would totally be number 11. Oh, and Bugs vs Mickey is good too. Jenny vs Robot Boy is a really cool fight, but I don't really care about either character, so I can't get into the matchup that much. It's still pretty cool though. And that's all for the honorable mentions. Let's jump into the list with number 10. The number 10 spot is a great matchup that I really love. And that matchup is Perry vs Skipper. I love this matchup a lot and would be super happy to see it. I believe this would be sprites. Some people say 3D, but I believe sprites are best for this fight. This has so much potential and would be great. Also, I love Phineas and Ferb and enjoy parts of the Madagascar films. This would be awesome to see and I would really love it happening. Let's move on to another DreamWorks fight. Megamind vs Screw is amazing and I love it. You can have a hand-to-hand fight, then a gadget fight, then a car fight, then Megamind using the Megamind and the Sun Laser to win the fight. This has so much potential that I love and would be so happy to see. This fight works as 3D or sprites. 3D would look nicer, but they could do more with sprites. I think both could work amazing, but my pick is sprites. Megamind is one of my favorite movies of all time and the first two Despicable Me movies are great. I have a big connection with this matchup and just love it a lot. Now the next one is interesting. People really like Titan vs Homelander. And I really like that matchup, but why do that when you can do all of Homelander's matchups at once? The evil Superman Royale is an idea that I love with Brightburn, Omni Man, Homelander and Titan. Does Omni Man completely stomp? Yes. But does the fight being a stomp change my thoughts on the matchup? Not really. This matchup has so much potential and the banter would be incredible. This most definitely should be 3D. Ben TGM made an utterly amazing track for this fight. Check it out, I cannot recommend it more. Also with this fight we get two movie characters, one of which is horror, which is a franchise death battle is severely lacking in. The best we've gotten are Carnage vs Lucy, Krona vs Venom and Saber Wolf vs John. Which the last one is definitely horror material, but the other two are definitely not. This would just be amazing and I would love it a lot. Or you could always split the matchup into Homelander vs Titan, which is great, or Homelander vs Omni Man, which is fine. Or Omni Man vs Bryan. Randy Cunningham is literally my childhood and I love the show a lot. And everyone knows his fight is with Jaden from Power Rangers Samurai, aka my other childhood show. This matchup is my childhood and would love to see this fight. I would love this in hand drawn, but sprites also work well. This is just a very important fight to me that I adore so much. It's pretty debatable too, with I believe Jaden winning, but I could be completely wrong. This could be great and I would love it so much. And just like the next one, how about another Disney animated character fight? Lord Hater is one of my favorite villains of all time. I love this guy and it's fairly obvious who he's fighting. Bowser from Mario. These two are among my favorite villains and are so lovable and badass at the same time that this fight would be insane. People act like Bowser stomped, but really it's pretty close, with Hater maybe even taking the win. Either winning would be absolutely amazing. Bowser was robbed and put in an extremely mid-episode. He deserves another chance and this is his perfect matchup that I love. Sure, Bowser has Eggman, but that's just okay. I would be okay if it happened. Hopefully it would be 3D at least, but man, Hater is just so amazing that I love it so much and I can spend an entire video gushing about this idea and all of its potential. While I like some ideas more obviously, this is one I just think has the most potential and my most love for the characters. Let's just move on cause I already spent way too much time on this. I really like Invader Zim. And I also love the Destroy All Humans games. So Crypto vs Zim is a dream match for me. They have so much gear and gadgets, it would be so fun and creative. This should be 3D but sprites and hand-drawn work. Zim losing is an L, but man, Crypto winning is a big W. There's so much that can be done with this fight. A gadget fight, a spaceship fight, a fight between Pox and Jip. And a funny thing you can do in the episode is make Zim and Pox have the same voice actor because they do in real life. This would just be so poggers and I really love this so much. And just like Hater vs Bowser, I can make a whole around 10-minute video just gushing about it. Let's just move on. Hiccup and Toothless vs Hero and Baymax may not be as popular as it was before, but it really is great. I love the How to Train Your Dragon movies and Big Hero 6 is also great. This fight has a lot of animation potential and would have to be 3D. Sprites work, but no, just do it in 3D. An awesome moment could be if Hero and Hiccup die and Toothless gets unhinged and glows blue and Hero activated Baymax's red eye mode. Then we could get a super awesome dragon versus robot fight. I believe Toothless wins, which is great. I love him and his movies. Shame Baymax has to die. Oh well, let's just move on to number 3. I absolutely love Phineas and Ferb, and there is one villain that shines above the rest. Dr. Doof is one of my favorite villains of all time with some great matchups, but there's just one that I love. Dr. Doof vs Rick Sanchez is a matchup that I love with characters I really enjoy. I haven't seen much of Rick and Morty, just a few episodes, but just from those couple episodes, this has potential to be the funniest death battle ever, preferably hand-drawn, but sprites also work very well. This would be extremely funny and I would love to see it happen someday. It's also very debatable with I think Rick winning, but even if he does, I'd be rooting for Doof. There's so much animation and fight potential that the animators could have a blast with. I would be so happy to see this happen. But it got beat by another Disney fight. I absolutely love Bill Cipher, and yeah, there is only really one fight for him. Bill vs Son, Bill vs Discord. This fight literally has unlimited potential for the animation. Sprites and hand-drawn work equally. Bill losing sucks, but Discord winning is pretty cool, not gonna lie. This fight not only brings in one of my favorite shows ever, but also one of my favorite villains ever. This just has so much potential that it's impossible not to like. This is fairly likely too. The only thing holding it back is that apparently they said that they are done with My Little Pony and Death Battle. But I've never seen the main source, and if the quote was "we're not doing My Little Pony anymore" or "we're not using the ponies anymore," cause if it's the later, then Discord is super likely. This fight would just be so fun and I would pop off so hard if it happened. But it's not my number one. That one goes to obviously the only number one out there is Amity Blight vs Springtrap. This epic matchup needs to happen because of the pure baseness of these characters. While this lacks connections, this has so much animation potential that it can be amazing. I love it so much and it's my favorite animated death battle matchup. Okay, but if we wanna get serious then yes, Amity vs Springtrap is not my number 1. Just move Amity vs Springtrap a spot down to number 2 and kick Perry vs Skipper to an honorable mention. And let's move on to my real number 1. My real number 1 is Shifu vs Splinter. I absolutely love this matchup. Kung Fu Panda is one of my favorite movie series and I adore the TMNT 2012 show. Which yes, that is the version I would want Death Battle to use, because he is the one most alike to Shifu and has the most to use. I believe Splinter wins, which is great, but it's gonna take me a while to mourn Shifu's death. This fight should be 3D. Sprites work but 3D works best. This is literally a perfect matchup that I would be over the moon to see. And now that Poe made it into Death Battle, this is way more likely. This should be the next TMNT and Kung Fu Panda fight. Kick-Ass vs Casey Jones is still pretty cool though, so I'd be fine with that happening before then. But this is my most wanted animated movie fight and maybe my most wanted fight of all time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below what your most wanted animated fights are. Please leave a like and subscribe and check out some other videos. I'm looking for some ideas too, so leave an idea if you want. And hope you all have a great day.